Hello, it's Tania Gabrielle, Wealth Astro-Numerologist. Welcome to your Taurus full moon forecast for October 24th at 5:45 p.m. Universal Time London, 12:45 p.m. New York, and 9:45 a.m. LA Pacific Time. This is such a big full moon. It's exciting, it's dynamic, it's fortunate, it's got pretty much everything you can imagine in it. First of all, the sun and moon are at 1 degrees, the moon at 1 degrees Taurus, the sun at 1 degree Scorpio. And they're forming a grand square with the lunar nodes. These are not planets, these are nodes, but they're also at 1 degrees. And I'm going to get into this a bit later on because it's really, really important because they're all at the same number 1, which is new beginnings, right? It's a new chapter, a new episode that is starting with this Taurus full moon. The lunar nodes are about our destiny, and it's about our past and our future, and it's about our relationships. And so it's a hugely dynamic topic, especially also because Venus rules Taurus, and Venus also governs the relationship area of our life. So there's so much going on, like I said. Let me start with Taurus first of all. Taurus is a sign that wants you to count your blessings, to enjoy and appreciate life. Taurus is connected to Mother Nature, and it's connected to self-worth and the worth of Earth, for example, making sure that you value Mother Earth and your internal values, also sensual pleasure and contentment and physical comfort. Taurians, if you know any, love being in a beautiful, comfortable home. It's also a very stubborn sign. It's known for its perseverance and its patience. And so there's a sense of dependability, being thorough, keeping your word, being trustworthy with the sign. Now, because there's so much creative energy, there's nurturing, there's love, there's sharing, there's romance. It is asking you, this full moon, to take care of your love-centered feelings. And in order to do so, because the whole date adds up to 18, and that's about rest and listening to your dreams, you need to rest a little bit more around this time. I know it's a Wednesday, but you want to take care of your health. You want to listen to your heart, literally and figuratively, of course. And you need to just understand that you need to value the body that your soul is residing in. Get in touch with it and love yourself and love others. So the love that you give yourself, the caring and nurturing you give yourself will extend to others. So it's a very, very, very beautiful code for a full moon, but it also makes it a little bit more emotional because, as we know, full moons tend to be more into activating our feelings, our heart-centered. So just be aware of that and channel it into a creative project and something that really is about nurturing. Now, like I said, in a full moon, the moon is opposite the sun. And what we have, why this is so dynamic too, is because the sun and moon are conjunct two planets. Just like the Aries full moon in September was, the sun was conjunct another planet and the moon. This time, the moon is conjunct Uranus. They're less than a degree apart, and Venus is conjunct the sun. Venus, the ruler of this full moon, is opposite the moon, conjunct the sun. This is very, very dynamic. So when the moon joins with Uranus, let's look at that first. There are really big emotional breakthroughs that come out of the blue. They're sudden, they're unexpected, and they shift you in a new direction in your relationships. So any changes that you want to implement, or even ones you didn't realize that needed to be implemented, are going to be activated now. So you may experience a harder time sleeping because, the moon also governs rest. It is about the night time. And when you're in Uranus, the electrical planet comes around, you may be more awake. You may feel like your emotions are electrified, and it really, what needs to happen here is you need to activate your psychic intuition. You need to tune in to that electrical tuning fork and put your imagination and your insights that you receive to use. And that's how this energy can be used constructively, as opposed to being taken off guard by emotional, change of directions or outbursts or whatever comes your way. If you do the intuition, you'll be much more open to seeing unseen things, seeing them that were formerly unseen behind the scenes, and you will be more emotionally accepting of different experiences that people are having, including yourself, right? So this is important because Uranus really goes out of the box. Uranus is about your inner genius. So be aware of that. Now the sun, like I said, is opposite the moon and conjunct Venus, the ruler of this full moon. This is a beautiful aspect. I mean, Venus is love and abundance, creativity. So you're in love with giving and receiving affection now. It's very friendly, it's very warm, it's a wonderful aspect for any relationships and deepening of friendships. So here's the thing I want to bring to your attention. We just had the Libra new moon on October 8th and 9th, depending on where you live. And Libra is ruled by Venus, right? And now we have the Taurus full moon, and Taurus is ruled by Venus. And during these two lunations, Venus was and still is in retrograde. So this is pretty big news because Venus can go retrograde anytime, but it's happening during the time the two signs that Venus rules are being activated in the new moon and full moon. That's a big deal. That means the retrograde is affecting you even more than it would otherwise. Also, Venus is retrograde in Scorpio, which is, you could probably say, the deepest sign in terms of governing the unconscious, the secrets that you don't really see very often. So Venus is now opening your heart. When it goes retrograde, you're going inwards, right? So it's opening your heart. You're getting clear about your deepest values. What are you absolutely clear and adamant about having in your life? And what is it that you know now has been completed? It is no longer valid. Okay, so Venus retrograde with these lunations is saying you need to clarify and purge whatever is necessary in order to embrace what you actually truly value at soul level, right? So Venus also rules the second house. Let's not forget that. That's the Taurus house. And so there's heightened potential now also for financial expansion. And so that includes with other people, because Scorpio rules the 8th house opposite the second, and that governs financial windfalls that come through partnerships or from other sources outside of you. Now, it's not that you suddenly receive financial windfalls without energetically participating in laying the groundwork for opportunities to blossom in your life. You need to do your work. Venus doesn't like to work. Venus is the love and creative planet, right? It is not a planet of work. So fortunately, we have an aspect with Saturn I'll get to in a moment that's going to help us to just, be responsible. Now, let me go before that to the sun is opposite the moon and Uranus. So let's look at sun opposite Uranus. That it really is about attracting unexpected encounters into your life. And the opposition is about bringing things into balance. So in this case, you may meet someone or rekindle a relationship or contact with someone who lights you up in an unexpected way. Something happens to rock the boat, which is what Uranus is here for, is to shake things up a little bit so you loosen up and see another perspective. There's swift, profound communication here. There may be nervous tension around you, but you're definitely more curious, you're more spontaneous, so just trust your intuition. The moon is opposite Venus. Let's look at that. So moon opposite Venus invites you to bring your emotional life into balance through love and affection. You may feel a little moody or emotionally depleted. So do something that allows you to feel more centered. Usually that's something creative where you lose sense of time. Take that Venus energy with the sun together with Venus. Take advantage of this good positive energy and bring your emotional creative life into balance. Now let's go to the grand square that I mentioned at the onset of this video. Sun, Venus opposite moon, Uranus, and then we got the lunar nodes in Aquarius and Leo. So this all at 1 degree. Now, new beginnings in destined relationships can happen around this time, especially in the couple weeks that follow the full moon. It can feel somewhat like this was fateful, this was meant to happen. There's a sense of timing about something in your life being activated and it's meant to be, where everything comes together for you. And it feels like it was meant to be this one moment, this number one, right? So your current life, your past life, your future lives all seem to come together, whether you're aware of it or not, in this one moment of, wow, this feels destined. So look out for that. It's a really big moment in general, not just for you personally, but for the world, to recalibrate and almost like reorient yourself because of some divine intervention, meeting or event that happens in your life, right? Now, another transit, I mentioned Saturn before. The moon is trine Saturn, the sun is sextile Saturn. Remember how I said Venus is not that much about getting up and working? Well, Saturn is the planet of being serious, being disciplined, getting to work. It governs the 10th house of your career, right? So Saturn gives us patience and grounding, equilibrium, stamina, very similar to Taurus. Let's not forget this is a Taurus full moon. So it allows you to patiently address any love relationship issues, any issues regarding money and financial flow, and just know that something needs to be resolved, and now you have the security to talk about it, to understand it, to create solutions and release any challenges or problems that have come up or that were there with Saturn in this gorgeous trine and sextile with the sun and moon. Saturn is the great teacher. Saturn is a very calm, step-by-step planet, so it allows you not to get pulled into the drama, the full moon, the emotional side of the full moon. So it's providing a lot of balance for that. And Saturn sextile Sun is also about just stepping up and getting serious about meeting your goals, not just having a dream that's not being taken seriously. So you're literally going to make something happen around this time, which is lovely. Now, this Taurus full moon, just to wrap it up, has a very, very special feeling of eternity and timelessness because of the nodes, the 1 degree nodes, with the sun and moon and Venus and Uranus. There's so much connected to galactic consciousness here. And so the timeless feeling is to get you out of this idea that there's only time. Time is for us humans here on Earth for practical reasons, right? We need it for practical reasons. But timelessness is our soul connection to the universe. And the way the universe works, there is no time. And so that's that feeling of the grand square. So understand that the true lasting security that we're talking about really comes when you let go of the fact that things have to happen at a certain time in your life. There's no such thing. There's growth, and if growth is happening, you're on your way. That's the only thing that matters. There's no reason to rush or feel like you missed out on anything, because there is another opportunity right around the corner. So it's for us to relax about that and not get into this place of anxiousness. So this is a big message with this particular Taurus full moon, is to trust, to be in the natural rhythm of life. Taurus is so connected to nature. So seek out nature, seek out what's beautiful, seek out what's profoundly healing and loving and caring and tactile, right? Affection, we mentioned that. And this is really an incredible moment, right? Near the end of the year, where we can really go again to another vibrational level through this amazing lineup of planets and the sun and the nodes that's happening. Have an incredible Taurus full moon, and I will see you in a couple weeks for the Scorpio new moon. Lots of love.